Imagine walking into an airport, calm and confident, only to have airline staff mock you, laugh at you, and toss your luggage to the ground in front of everyone. That's exactly what happened to one woman. But what the crew didn't know was who she really was. 5 minutes later, the entire team was out of a job. You're about to hear one of the most shocking real-life lessons in respect you'll ever see. If you're part of the Black Visionaries family, hit that like button right now and subscribe for more jaw-dropping stories like this one. The airport was alive with the sound of rolling suitcases, the chatter of travelers, and the deep hum of jet engines ready to carry people across the world. Among the crowd walked Danielle Roberts, calm, graceful, and confident. She was the kind of woman who carried herself like she knew who she was, and no one could take that away from her. She wore a crisp white vest, tailored patterned trousers, and sleek sunglasses that reflected the morning sun. To any bystander, she looked like a woman who had everything under control. But she was about to face one of the most humiliating moments of her life, one that would turn into a story the entire internet couldn't stop talking about. Danielle had just finished a 3-day business trip overseas. She worked as a senior corporate lawyer for a global investment firm, known for her professionalism and calm attitude under pressure. She wasn't someone who sought attention or drama. She just wanted to get on her flight, return home, and finally rest. But fate had other plans. As she approached the airline's check-in counter, she was met by a young male staff member who looked like he had already decided the kind of person she was. His uniform was neat, his expression smug, and the arrogance in his tone was impossible to miss. He looked at her suitcase, an older, red leather bag that had traveled the world with her, and wrinkled his nose. "Ma'am, are you sure you want to check in this?" he said, his tone filled with mockery. "It looks like it's seen better days." Danielle, maintaining her usual composure, gave a polite smile. "Yes, that's my bag. It's just fine." The man chuckled and turned to his colleague beside him, whispering something that made both of them laugh quietly. Danielle heard it. The woman next to him snorted, saying, "Some people just can't let go of junk, huh?" They didn't even lower their voices. A few passengers nearby exchanged uneasy glances, realizing something unpleasant was unfolding. Danielle decided to ignore it. She had faced worse attitudes before. But when she handed her suitcase over the counter, the young man deliberately dropped it to the floor with a loud thud. The sound echoed through the check-in area. Her bag, the same one that had been with her on every business trip for nearly a decade, now lay on the cold floor, open slightly from the impact. "Oops," he said sarcastically. "Guess it couldn't handle the flight either." Gasps rippled through the line. A mother with her kids nearby covered her mouth in shock. A few people began recording on their phones. Danielle bent down slowly, picked up the bag, dusted it off, and looked at the man directly in the eyes. Her voice was calm, steady, and chillingly composed. "You'll regret tossing that," she said quietly. The attendant smirked. "Oh, really? Why is that? Is it magic or something?" His coworker laughed again. "Give me that junky bag. I'll dump it myself." At that moment, every passenger around could feel the tension thick in the air. Danielle didn't argue. She didn't raise her voice. She simply straightened up, gave him a long, unreadable look, and walked away without saying another word. But what no one there knew was that within 5 minutes, everything, and I mean everything, would change. A few moments after Danielle walked away, a passenger who had filmed the entire incident uploaded the clip to social media with the caption, "Airline staff disrespects woman at check-in. Unbelievable behavior." It began circulating faster than wildfire. People started tagging the airline's official account. Within minutes, the video was trending in multiple regions. At the same time, inside the airline's headquarters, just a few miles away, a notification popped up on the screen of the public relations manager. They watched the clip in disbelief. It wasn't just rude behavior. It was a public relations disaster waiting to explode. The manager rushed to inform the higher-ups. Within minutes, the airline's operations director had been alerted. But the most shocking part came when they ran the passenger's name through their flight manifest. "Danielle Roberts," the director said, his eyes widening. "Are you sure?" The staff nodded. "Yes, sir. She's on Flight 108 to New York." The director turned pale. Danielle Roberts wasn't just another customer. She was the head of legal affairs for a multinational corporation that held a multi-million-dollar annual contract with their airline. Her firm's business partnership alone accounted for nearly 15% of their corporate bookings each year. Losing her trust would mean losing the contract, and potentially the airline's reputation with every other corporate partner watching. He immediately picked up the phone and called the airport branch manager. "Find out who's at the check-in counter for Flight 108. Get them off duty right now," he said sharply. Meanwhile, Danielle had already boarded the plane and taken her seat near the window. She remained quiet, scrolling through her emails, unaware that the situation outside was escalating rapidly. The crew responsible for the incident was still laughing among themselves, bragging about how they put that lady in her place. But their laughter was short-lived. Over the airport intercom, a voice called out their names. "Attention, check-in crew for Flight 108. Please report immediately to management." They exchanged confused looks and slowly walked toward the supervisor's office. Waiting there were two senior officials and the airline's regional director. The director's expression was cold, his arms crossed tightly. He didn't waste time on small talk. "You're both done," he said bluntly. The male attendant stammered. "Sir, what do you mean? The director cut him off. "I've seen the video. The entire internet has seen the video. You disrespected a passenger, mocked her belongings, and threw her luggage in front of dozens of witnesses. That's not just unprofessional, it's disgraceful. And do you have any idea who that passenger was?" The woman swallowed hard. "She was just some customer. She's the head of legal affairs for one of our top corporate clients. You didn't just insult her, you humiliated our partner. And now, we're facing a PR nightmare." The silence that followed was heavy and suffocating. Security stepped forward as the director continued. "You're terminated effective immediately. Your badges, please." As they handed over their IDs, reality finally hit. They had lost their jobs over a few seconds of arrogance. Their faces went from defiance to disbelief. Back on the plane, Danielle received a soft knock on her seat armrest. A senior flight attendant leaned down and said politely, "Ms. Roberts, I just wanted to apologize personally for what happened earlier. The issue has been handled." Danielle looked up, her expression calm but thoughtful. "Handled?" she asked. "Yes, ma'am. The individuals responsible are no longer employed with the airline. On behalf of our entire team, we're truly sorry." Danielle smiled faintly. "I didn't need revenge. I just needed respect." The flight attendant nodded, humbled by the grace in her response. "Thank you for understanding." When the flight landed hours later, Danielle checked her phone and found hundreds of notifications. The video of the incident had gone viral. People from around the world were praising her calmness, her poise, and her powerful line, "You'll regret tossing that." The clip had already gained over 5 million views, and comments flooded in. "This is how you handle disrespect, with class." She didn't yell, she didn't fight. She let karma do the talking. "This is why you treat everyone with kindness, no matter who they are." Within 24 hours, the airline released an official statement. They confirmed that the employees had been terminated and that new sensitivity and respect training programs were being launched for all staff. Their message read, "We believe every passenger deserves dignity and respect. We deeply regret this incident and are committed to ensuring it never happens again." Danielle, ever the professional, didn't seek attention. She made one simple post on her social media. "It's never about how someone treats you when you're powerful. It's about how they treat you when they think you're not." That post was shared thousands of times. People began using it as a quote in their own workplaces, schools, and motivational talks. It became a viral symbol of dignity and self-respect. Today, Danielle's story continues to be shared as a reminder of something timeless. Respect costs nothing, but its absence can cost everything. The crew who mocked her learned that lesson the hardest way possible. And Danielle? She simply walked away with her head held high, proving once again that true strength doesn't come from shouting or seeking revenge. It comes from knowing your worth, staying calm, and letting the truth do the work for you. Because in life, what goes around really does come around, sometimes faster than you think. And that's how a moment of disrespect turned into a powerful lesson for everyone watching. Always treat people with kindness, because you never know who's watching. If this story moved you, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring real-life stories right here on Black Visionaries.